Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of Creative and Jobless. And as you guys know, I'm not jobless. I just don't have a job in the creative industry and I would love to. So as you guys know, my email is in the bio, and if you like what you see and you enjoy looking at my work, get in contact, don't be shy, and I can make some money. We can make some money. Anyways, moving on for today, I have finally done my 4th main character design for book 3. Book 4, is it? How many have I done? No, it's meant to be book 3. Yeah, it's 4 characters I've done so far, but it's meant to be book 3 I'm working on. It's confusing. Anyways, it's book 3. Finally done the character for book 3, and I am surprised by how he came out. Not unhappy, but pretty impressed. He did come out a little skinnier than expected, but I'm not unhappy about it. I feel like it all came together in the end. So everybody, meet Emmanuel, the character of book 3, our 4th main character of the series. And just a disclaimer, if you guys see a clip played twice in this video, forgive me, I was so sleepy when editing the recording, so I ended up putting a part twice in it. So if you guys see a part of the video played twice, just know it's because your girl was tired and half asleep when editing, and that's the reason. But anyways, as I was saying, meet Emmanuel. He is the character whose perspective will be used in book 3. Well, he's one of them, but he is the main one. He's the first one I use. I would say the unique thing about Emmanuel is that unlike the previous 2 characters, he's not related to any of the people that were involved in burying Monife and hiding her murder. He does know one of the people that did it, but he just doesn't know that that's their history. And that is because this character that was involved in burying Monife's murder, not burying Monife's mother, burying Monife herself, that's because this character grew up and ended up becoming a pastor, a corrupt one. I think we know a lot of these ones. But yes, and Emmanuel happens to attend this pastor's church. And that's, I guess, his part in the book. And it's taken from his perspective. And he is what I would call, let's call him a devoted follower of Christ. Because in the book, he is so naive to what's going on. And I think it just makes think it makes what he goes through pretty interesting in the story, especially when Monife enters and starts doing her little, I guess, dance of havoc around. Now, just to clarify, I am what most people would consider an atheist. I don't mind people seeing me as that. But I guess in a way, book 3 is kinda, I guess, a little bit of a projection of what I've been through as a person that doesn't convert themselves to any religions. So I will admit there are parts of the story that are infused with some of my, I guess I would say, experiences as I was, I guess, slowly starting to ask questions about my faith when I did believe in, I guess, God and Christianity and that stuff. And I guess I kind of plopped that experience into Emmanuel a little bit. I'm not saying he is me, but the naivety, kinda, in a way, did kind of reflect me back then. And he was kind of interesting to write because it was kind of basically like reliving me again with all of my questions, my curiosities. I feel like we've all had these experiences as religious people, especially if you are of West African descent and raised in a religious household. Like, we all know, especially if we have become atheists, we all know how seriously we are raised in religion, whether it's Christianity or any of the, I guess, what people would call Abrahamic religions. We all know the struggles that happen when we're raised within them, especially when we start to, I guess, divert from them and ask questions. And I guess I kind of put that experience into a bio, kind of exploring that while he is literally in the midst of a corrupt church. I feel that's what makes it pretty interesting. It was quite fun writing it, to be honest. One of the things that I do explore is the lack of questions that people ask when they are so deep in these religions. And although he is deeply religious himself, he has, I guess, an even more religious family. And one of the things I do kind of make happen in the story is whenever he does, I guess, ask questions that may be a bit too deep for his own family even, they kind of shut him down a bit rather than, having him elaborate or talk about it. It is something that I do add in the story because I do think that it does show a bit of a reality of how a lot of us are raised in religion, especially if we were raised in super religious households. Anytime we had a question, it was shut down, or we were defying God, or, we're going to hell for questioning God. It was always something like that whenever they didn't want to answer our questions. It was like a way of, I guess, whipping us back into shape. And I kind of add that into the story as well, because I feel that that's I don't know, I like mixing my stories with a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of horror, and a little bit of reality. I feel like that's what makes the story all come together really nicely. Am I aware that this part of the story might possibly trigger people that are religious? Yeah. Am I willing to take that risk? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you can't impress everyone. You can't impress everyone. You're always going to ruffle some feathers. There might be some themes in stories you want to write that might, I guess, catch people off guard. And I definitely feel like this book 3 will definitely be one of these books that will catch people off guard. Another thing I nearly forgot to add is that there are 2 main characters in book 3. So we have Emmanuel, who the perspective is taken from, and then it's also taken from the perspective of the pastor of the church that he attends. So we have 2 perspectives from Emmanuel, who is less privileged, with a naivety of his own church, and also a naive family who are willing to sacrifice even to their finances to support the church they attend. And also you got it from the perspective of the pastor, who we'll call Pastor Samuel. And he basically is okay tricking people and taking advantage of their naivety towards his congregation, towards his church and everything. I know some of you might be asking, why don't he just draw the characters that were present during the time they were hiding Monifa's murder or whatnot? Look, I know what I'm doing. I know it looks crazy right now, and I look like a mad person putting stuff together at a board, but trust me, it all comes together. I don't know, I'm just someone that likes playing around with perspectives, and I guess I do that a lot in this book series. But I guess I'll probably do a second half of Creative and Jobless when I'm done, I guess, doing the basic part of showing all my character designs, and then maybe I'll do like another half where I only do the designs of the characters that were present during the time of Monifa's murder and the time when they were hiding her burial. Because one thing about the characters, I might have to do 2 different designs for them, because the ones that were present during Monifa's murder and hiding it as well, basically what happened was they grew up after it. They grew up and, the spirit of injustice really lived through for 40 years after. They lived good lives, they grew up, so I might have to do different designs for them. I might have to do designs for them when they were like 16, 15 years old, and then designs for them when they're like in their 50s and 40s and so on. So that will make a bit more sense. But for now, with the current designs, I'm going in book order. So don't forget to give the video a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow if you're on TikTok or Instagram. Ooh, and I nearly forgot to say this. Happy New Year, everyone. Well, at least at the time I'm saying it, that's the proper time to say it. But whichever time this video comes out, Happy New Year. I know some of you might not feel like you achieved everything you needed to in 2025, but it's okay. 2026 is ahead of you, and you can still try again. Anyway, that's it. Once again, it's Ndp Owa, and I'm out. Bye.